All right, television terror. This is a very popular episode. I know a lot of people love this one, and it is an extremely memorable episode for me as well. As soon as it came on, I was like, oh, this episode. I really like this episode. This episode was done in 1990, and I was sitting there and I was like, I wonder if this was influenced by the BBC's Ghost Watch. And I went and I looked, and that happened in 1992. So that actually happened after this. And I have to wonder if this had any influence on that, because that was another, like, that's basically like, their version of the Blair Witch. They aired this whole freaking hoax, haunting special, and people were watching it and they thought it was real, like things were happening while they were there, and it was this big thing. But that, it reminded me of that, except for, this was actually happening and within this show. And I love that everyone hates him so much. The comments from one of the guys back in the van that's broadcasting it, some of the shit he says when he sees the rats, he's like, oh, it's his family or whatever. He was saying some stuff that was really funny to me, so I really liked his character a lot. And something you don't really ever see very often in shows, and something I wish you would see more often, is that, like, everything that is happening is being caught on live television. Like, this is being streamed out, everything is being seen by the audience, and I like that. I like that we don't really get to see that much. It's always like, didn't you see that? And like, we don't know what you're talking about, man. There's nothing there. And like, they try to get it on camera. They try to show people, and like, it never ends up being real, or never ends up being seen or whatever. I like that this is being broadcast on live television, and people actually get to see it. I really like the dead cameraman trick. Like, the cameraman's following him around with the light in his face for like a good minute or two. And then he's like, keeps telling the guy, like, over here. And then they finally bump into the cameraman's body, and it's hung. And then when he looks over, it's like clearly not the cameraman. He pulls it away, and it's a ghost that's been doing. I thought that was a fantastically effective scare, a really well thought out scare. And they don't want to help him. They don't want to get him out of there because the ratings are going through the roof. And this goes back to me talking about, I just reviewed Night Flyer, and I was talking about how much I hate the media because they thrive off of terrible events and misfortunate happenings. And this I 100% believe is true. Like, if they had one of their reporters that was in there and he was on live TV and the ratings were going through the roof and they were freaking out, I do think that they would leave him in there and not help out so that the ratings could spike. And they'd be telling people, like, oh, we're trying to get him out of there. We have the cops heading over there or something. But they'd be, like, totally full of shit. They'd probably let the guy die just to get the ratings up. I just truly believe that. You can call me fucking stupid and think that I'm a conspiracy theorist or something ridiculous, but yeah, I do. I think they'd absolutely let him in there. And the fact, I guess that's just one of the morals of this story, is that, don't be a dick. Don't treat people like shit, because you never know when your fate will be in their hands. Like, I see so many horror movies. I see so many movies where something happens, and then all of a sudden, all of your past gets dredged up, and it's like you're on trial from your friends, from whatever. If you watch a movie like Circle, or if you watch, there's plenty of movies out there where there's a moment when people have the chance to save you, or save themselves, or let you die, or whatever, and they're like, you've been a dick the entire time I've ever known you. Goodbye. Now, you shouldn't be a dick just because you shouldn't be a dick. I don't think that you should live a life where you're worried about punishment in the future. That's why I'm not a religious person. I don't feel like people should be good because they think they should get a fucking reward for being good. Like, be good because you're a good person. You shouldn't need a reason to be a good person. Like, if the only thing that's keeping you from fucking murdering people or raping people or robbing people is because you think you're going to possibly go into heaven one day, you're a piece of shit. I'm sorry. That's the only thing that's stopping you. If you didn't realize that was true, you just go out and murder and rape and get the fuck out of here. That's silly. Anyway, so yeah, this proves to you, well, much like anything, you should be good to people because they may have their fate in your hands. So, and then he's chainsawed and hung on or hanged, I guess is proper, on national television. Like, they're like, no, the ratings are going up. I mean, how terrible would these people feel? This fucking guy comes and chainsaws his stomach, and then he falls out the window and just gets wrapped. It's such a grim ending. I love it. They look outside, the girl runs out, and she looks, and the guy's just fucking hanging from the house. It's such a good shot of the house. It looks very eerie. So great episode, really good, really held up well. Unfortunately, it is a little short. These episodes are so quick. Like, something happens and then it's over, and you're like, oh my God, that was it? Okay, we're done. So this is yet another one. But yeah, anyway,